Have you ever noticed how some people just disappear? No drama, no explanation. They slowly cut everyone off and choose silence over connection. No calls, no messages, no effort to stay in touch. And from the outside, it looks cold. But here's the psychology no one talks about. People who cut everyone off aren't always heartless. Sometimes, they're just overwhelmed. This is the psychology of people who cut everyone off. They reached emotional burnout. At some point, it became too much. Too many expectations, too many conversations, too much emotional weight. Psychology calls this emotional exhaustion. When the brain is overloaded, it doesn't fight or fix. It withdraws. Cutting people off becomes a form of self-protection, not because they don't care, but because they can't carry anymore. They learned that distance feels safer than attachment. For some, closeness has always come with pain, disappointment, betrayal, misunderstanding. So, their brain creates a simple rule. Distance equals safety. This is linked to avoidant attachment. They don't cut people off because they hate them. They do it because getting too close feels dangerous. They're tired of being the one who always tries. There's a quiet pattern here. They were the one texting first, checking in, fixing problems, holding relationships together, until one day, they stopped. Psychology connects this to emotional imbalance in relationships. When effort isn't reciprocated, the brain eventually shuts down investment. Not loudly, just permanently. They crave peace more than connection. At some point, chaos becomes exhausting. Drama, arguments, misunderstandings. It drains mental energy, so they choose silence. Not loneliness, but peace. This is emotional prioritization. They're no longer asking, who do I keep? They're asking, what costs me my peace? And anything that does, gets removed. They are rebuilding themselves in private. Here's something most people don't see. When someone cuts everyone off, they're often going through change, healing, reevaluating life, figuring themselves out. Psychology calls this identity restructuring. They step back from the world to understand who they are without noise, without influence, without pressure. It's not disappearance, it's transformation. Here's the truth most people misunderstand. Cutting everyone off is not always strength, but it's not always weakness either. Sometimes it's a reset, a pause, a silent way of saying, I need space to breathe. But here's the balance. Isolation can protect you, but it can also trap you. Healing doesn't mean shutting everyone out forever. It means choosing better people, not no people. So if you've been pulling away from everyone, ask yourself honestly, are you protecting your peace or avoiding connection? Because the goal isn't to disappear. The goal is to return stronger, clearer, and more selective. If this felt like it explains something you couldn't put into words, subscribe, because we break down the psychology behind silent decisions people rarely explain.